Furthermore, Will Smith, I love him such a lot of he's simply such. And he's a characteristic conceived educator, purportedly Nia Long, loves Will Smith enough to realize that Jada is thoroughly demolishing his life. Yet what precisely did she say regarding that clearly non-traditional marriage? And why has Nia never loved Jada? And how she willed Will Smith appears, as though it's the ideal opportunity for a mediation, and Nia Long is absolutely here for it on the off chance that you are asking why Nia even has suppositions about Will's and Jada's marriage. This is on the grounds that she has been Will's dear companion for the most significant length of time they truly met when Nia played Lisa Wilkes in the hit 90s sitcom, The New Ruler of Bel-Air, featuring as one of Will Smith's sweethearts. And the one in particular who inspired him to settle down Jada was truly expected to assume the part. And during a meeting on Individual's television, Nia said that the makers at first cast Jada in the job of Will's better half, yet they reevaluated in light of the fact that they felt that Jada was too short. Thus the joke that I have with Jada is I landed the position, yet she got the spouse. And that is well that Maine implied that Nia had the chance to get to realize Will better and furthermore developed to cherish him. In actuality, and he would continuously get through the entryway with this enormous measure of affection and energy, and this overflow of giving and backing, and he accepts that he can do anything. And that was whenever that I first had at any point seen an individual of color take that position, so it's exceptionally motivating for me. So yes, Nia is a lot of worried about what happens in her companion's life, and even transparently gave her considerations on the marriage during a meeting with Eat. I feel terrible for Will and Jada right now, since they've been incredibly open to their own story, and it takes a ton of boldness to do that. And Nia likewise said that in light of the fact that Jada has a show like the Red Casual Conversation, she needs to be the thing she is offering to the world. And that has become a huge measure of strain, since we as a whole have our promising and less promising times with endlessly love, is something muddled. Moreover, she said that Will is a symbol, and that Jada ought to give Will some space saying statement. I think any key to any relationship is give your accomplice the space to be who he should be, who she should be. And on the off chance that it implies you're enjoying some time off to do that, enjoy the reprieve. I realize I, in some cases, take off from the house, and I don't let anybody know where I'm going. And I'm similar to affirm folks I'll be back, since I've discovered that on the off chance that I don't deal with myself, first nothing else in the house moves along as expected end statement. To some it could be clear for what reason Will would have to have some time off, right? Like, we've all sort of seen plainly what Jada has put that man through. One of the most awful open embarrassments was presumably in 2020 when August Alsina guaranteed that he and Jada had an unsanctioned romance, and that it was with Will's full information and consent. And I completely gave myself to that relationship for a really long time of my life, and I genuinely and ridiculously profoundly cherished and have a lot of adoration for her. I committed myself to it. I gave my full self to it, to such an extent to the point that I can kick the bucket this moment and be good with realizing that I genuinely gave myself well, Jada. And Will later tended to the issue on an episode of the Red Casual Conversation with Jada, conceiving that she and August had fostered an ensnarement. I mean, it was at that point hard enough that Jada had cheated with her child's dearest companion. And to add salt to the injury, she talked with Will about it to control and embarrassment. 101 not too far off folks and individuals certainly had a field day. With that, including Chris Rock, we as a whole been betrayed, everyone in him been betrayed. Not a single one of us have at any point been consulted by the individual that betrayed us on TV discussing Chris Rock. No doubt I will go there. The control was likewise really obvious at the Oscars 2022. When Chris Rock was in front of an audience to declare the success victor of the Best Narrative, all of you recall how we made that joke that he was anticipating seeing Jada in G.I. Jane 2. As a result of her bear search in a fairly amazing development, Will, who had snickered at the joke, immediately strolled in front of an audience and slapped the entertaining out of Chris, after some charge that Jada gave him a piercing search for many individuals that recently affirmed that Jada is surprisingly manipulative. And she's done much more terrible things. Supposedly Jada is the person who acquainted Will with sexual openness. And together they began laying down with youthful rappers in Hollywood. They're both sexually open, they do peculiar things in their home, and young fellows have gone out shouting to move away from them in their mentorship. And we should likewise not fail to remember that Jada herself said that she never needed to get hitched. There's such a lot of tension, being a youthful entertainer, being youthful and pregnant. I was very much as I didn't have any idea what to do yet. I just realized I was like I never needed to be hitched as a matter of fact. She said that at least a time or two, so you get exactly the amount she never needed to wed. Well, she likewise told Individuals magazine in the 2019 main story, quote, I never needed to get hitched yet my mom was like you need to get hitched, she's so old school, and will needed a family, so I said ok. Perhaps it's something I ought to do. End statement Dan. And assuming you request a ton from Individuals, they will let you know that the issue wasn't actually marriage. It's that Jada has forever been enamored with another person. And yes, many individuals are alluding to Tupac unfortunate, will envision rivaling a dead man, gracious find happiness in the hereafter Tupac. At any rate, individuals suspect that Jada potentially focuses on it. Will's face that she is still enamored love with Tupac politeness of that letter that Willow composed where she expressed that she realized Tupac was alive somewhere and requested that he return to them so she and Jada could be blissful. And by how Willow was just 11 years of age when she composed that letter, so Tupac has most certainly been a hotly debated issue in that family. I mean, Will ought to have strolled his fine behind out that entryway. Yet he actually decides to remain with Jada. And in the event that you're asking why, one thing I realize that Will has said in the past is that for him separate is a definitive disappointment. Separate was a definitive disappointment for me. Definitely, I've been harmed a ton in my grown-up life. Yet, I think nothing contacts the disappointment of getting separated from my kid-child's mom. And on the grounds that Jada realizes this quite well, is it conceivable that she maneuvers Will towards staying with her, paying little mind to the amount it influences his life. So as a dear companion, Nia sees everything occurring. And as per certain individuals, she's presumably worn out on it. And you understand what it's not Nia who has shared her interests. Even Kodak Dark directly upset that Jada doesn't merit Will. And, surprisingly, offered himself up tending to Jada by saying she merits somebody like him, and not Will music. When I finish, get you some genuine serenity, however, yet you understand what this boat has long cruised folks, and who knows whether Will has any expectations of truly leaving Jada, particularly given his remarks in the New Year's like in a 2021 meeting with GQ. He said statement we have given each other trust and opportunity, with a conviction that everyone needs to figure things out in marriage for us can't be a jail. I don't recommend our street for anyone yet the encounters, that the opportunities that we've given each other and the unqualified help to me is the best quality of adoration and statement now. I don't have the foggiest idea what sort of opportunity they are giving one another, yet it has been conjectured with every one of the reports that they are pleasure seekers. You all, at any rate, in an alternate meeting, will likewise clarify that his relationship with Jada was solid. He and his better half let each know other everything, and that there are never any shocks in regards to what different does in the relationship. You both have talked openly. It's an extremely renowned story treachery in the marriage, and how you explored that time there will never be been unfaithfulness in our marriage, never been disloyalty, never Jada, and I discuss everything, and we have never shocked each other with whatever consistently well for him to say that so unhesitatingly that there has never been betrayal in his marriage. That sounds like a man who's a lot of trying to claim ignorance, or under a control of some sort. Yet what do you all think? Does Jada actually have her hooks profound into? Or do you think his dear companions like Nia have attempted to work him out of it? There have been many remarks with individuals delivering Nia and Will, and I realize that Nia and Jada were in some kind of rivalry once upon a time. When I began truly functioning as an entertainer, there were around 4 of us: Jada Pinkett, Smith Hall, Barry, Regina Lord, and Jasmine Folks. Yet the ladies that were I was in steady contest with generally, it was me and Jada. Oh, let me not lose sight of what's most important. But rather I couldn't want anything more than to understand your opinion on Jada controlling Will. And Nia's remarks so sound off in the remarks segment underneath. And remember to look at this next video. Thank you,